Hey friend, welcome to Dulles Church. My name is Andrew. I'm the student pastor here. I'm so glad that you've joined us here today. We are in our second week of taking you behind the scenes on kind of what happens before the gathering on Sunday mornings. We call it All Call. It's for our leaders and volunteers who will be leading in some capacity on Sunday morning in a certain area, whether that be kids, on the worship team, it's students, connections, tech, all the above. It's about 15 to 20 of us. We huddle up before the service and we get our hearts and our minds ready for the morning. And for those of you who watch diligently online, thank you. We are so glad you're part of our family, but we realize you don't get to see this. And so this is us being able to allow you to experience Dulles Church in its fullest. So every week we consider one thought, one question, one challenge for the morning. And even though it's kind of for our hearts and minds the morning of on Sunday mornings, I believe that these thoughts and these questions and these challenges can be relevant to our everyday life, regardless if we are volunteering or leading somewhere in a church. I'm recording outside today on my porch. It's a beautiful day outside. We're finally starting, I think, to get like that consistent nice weather. We've had these random like cloudy days, random rainy days and things like that. And so today it's sunny. You can hear the birds outside. It's a nice temperature. I'm in t-shirt and shorts. I think summer is probably, it's official to say summer is probably here. And on a beautiful day like this, we consider how amazing it is that we get to be outside, and we express our thankfulness. If you grew up in church, or if you kind of have a faith background, you might hear the phrase, "This is the day that the Lord has made." And if you know what that is, you could probably even finish that statement, saying, "Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I will rejoice and be glad in it." And that comes from Psalm 118, where David is expressing his thankfulness to God. And you know, you come across these verses where you hear it so much, hear it so often that sometimes you just kind of glance over it. But as I was reading this verse, this chapter really, and I saw this is the day that the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad in it, it something challenged me to say, why does David only talk about this is the day that the Lord has made? Because yesterday was also the day that the Lord had made, and tomorrow will also be the day that the Lord will make. Why is David so intent on focusing on today? And I think he did that for a very specific reason. In this psalm of thankfulness, David is talking about how God has provided for Israel, for the kingdom of Israel, for David himself in the past, how he has seen him through tough times, how he has allowed him victory in battles. And he's recalling all these things in the past, but he finishes with the statement on the present. Now, this is the day that you have made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Oftentimes for us, the biggest hindrance to today is yesterday and tomorrow. When I say that, I mean that our thoughts and our minds and our hearts can sometimes still be occupied in the past, or they can still be consumed in the future. And when those things are the primary things that you are thinking about in the present, you lose. You lose out on opportunities. You lose out on moments. You lose out on minutes. You lose out on seeing what is happening and what's going on around you. And David knows this. That's why in the 24th verse, he says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." In it. This is the day. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Because as thankful as David is for the past and all the ways that God has seen him through, and as confident as he is in the future and all the things that God will do for him, David knows that God wants to do something right now. He wants to do something in the day that David is writing this. I can imagine him writing the psalm and just preparing his heart in that moment to say, God, whatever you want to do today, whatever you want to show me today, that is what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to rejoice about. And so why is this important to you? Well, as you're watching this, I don't know if you're watching this in the morning, the afternoon, the nighttime, regardless of when you're watching it, it's today, right now. Today is the day that the Lord has made. It could be 8 a.m. in the morning. Man, you got the whole day ahead of you. It could be the middle of the day. It could be right before you're going to bed. You could be watching this right before you go to bed. It's still the day that the Lord has made. And if it is still today, then there is still time for Jesus to show himself, to reveal himself in some way, shape, or form to you. And if you're thinking about tomorrow, or if you're thinking about yesterday, you might miss it. So my challenge to you, call for all of us on how to live our life, is to live today. Today is the day that the Lord has made. Don't worry about what happened yesterday. It's done. And don't worry about what's going to come tomorrow. It'll get here. Right now, in this moment, say, Jesus, this is the day that you've made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I will be open to it. I will be receptive to it. Because there are going to be so many moments and so many people that you're going to come in contact with, that you're going to interact with. And I promise you, if your mindset is on today, you're going to see nothing but opportunities to allow Jesus to show you his love for you, and for you to show the love of Jesus to somebody else. Hope you guys have a great week. See you next time.